Man, that does look beautiful. Hey guys, what do you think about an open shove right here? Okay, we're gonna open shove with the aces and see if some donkey comes along. Oh, 5-3. What? What? Yes! The runner jacks. Oh! ACR special right there, baby. Oh man. The motherfucking 5-3 calls and flops 2 pair. Then I get the runner jack for the counterfeit 2 pair. Yo, ACR doesn't get much better than that. What's up, everybody? It's Omar here, aka Super Busboy on Twitch. Today I'm gonna tell you my top 10 reasons for playing on America's Cardroom. Well, the first reason is that they accept US players, and since I happen to live in the United States, that's important to me, because then otherwise if they didn't accept US players, then I wouldn't be able to play on the site. Like many poker rooms out there who shall remain unnamed, Poker Stars, Party Poker, a lot of sites are not accepting US players. You know, if you're like me and you really don't, and you think you should be allowed to play poker at home, regardless of what anybody else might say, government, federal government, IRS, then America's Cardroom is a great place to play. They accept US players. I'll leave it at that. Number 2 reason I play at America's Cardroom is fast and easy deposit with Bitcoin. Some sites don't take Bitcoin. You know, some sites may offer it, but then their deposit and withdrawal takes forever. You know, I think everything at America's Cardroom, and from my experience, I mean, it happens with under a day. Sometimes, you know, within a couple hours. Like if you deposit, you might refresh, and then you might come and you'll see it there. Or, I don't know what. I haven't heard anything ridiculous, like it took forever. No, it's usually just pretty standard. Like you deposit, within a couple hours, your money's there and you get to play. Withdrawals, I've not heard one issue of anybody in recent history having trouble with an ACR withdrawal. So number 2 reason, you know, easy, fast transactions. Oh, not to mention, ACR still actually takes Visa and MasterCard and some other traditional deposit methods. You know, I'll link you guys if you're interested, but yeah, fast and easy deposit methods. I mean, that, you know, that should be the case for all poker rooms. I don't think it is. So if that's important for you, great. You know, if you're fine with waiting 5 or 6 weeks for a check or potentially never getting it all, you know, play elsewhere. Number 3 reason I play on America's Cardroom is for the multi-table tournaments, large player pools, and huge guarantees relative to the buy-in. I mean, just their normal tournaments, like you'll often see, you know, 5-10K guaranteed, you know, with something small like a $5 or $10 buy-in, or you might even see higher than that for when they're running a special event. Like right now, for the month of September, we had the High Five event where they're just, you know, over 5 million in guarantees over 20 days, and blah blah blah. All right, big guarantees, big player pools. What more could you really ask for? I mean, you could ask for more fish, but you know. Anyways, the number 4 reason I play at America's Cardroom is, and this one may sound a little counterintuitive, but it's because the cash game players are some of the best that I've seen online at any, especially at the micro stakes. All right, I'm just to kind of give you guys a background. I'm a micro stakes player right now. I've played poker for a long time, but I've re-humbled myself this year to where I'm telling myself I want to beat every stake for 10,000 hands before I move up. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I'm beating $2 no limit, 1 cent, 2 cent. Some of the best goddamn poker players I've ever seen in my life exist on ACR's $2 no limit, 1 cent, 2 cent, 6 max, 9 max tables. And it's soul crushing when you can't beat the lowest possible stakes. But what's weird is I don't know what it was really. I do a lot better at $10 no limit. Look, long story short, I play on America's Cardroom, and I'm saying I play there for the reason that there's the best cash players I've ever encountered relative to each limit exist on America's Cardroom. And you might think that's a reason not to play there, and you'd be right. If you're trying to make a lot of money, you want to play where the fish are. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are fish, but just really good cash players exist on ACR. I don't know why, I'm just telling you like it is. But here's the thing, I get a lot better playing on America's Cardroom. Like, once I figure out how to crack the nut at each level, like once I figure out how to, you know, start actually like beating $2 no limit, then I move to $5 no limit, then I move to, like, I can be pretty sure I'm playing with like the best players at these limits, right? You know, so I'm not gonna go to some other site and get surprised and be like, whoa, these players are so much better. So this is like, you can still make money playing. I don't know what higher levels cash look like. I can just extrapolate based on what I already know, and I don't think it's gonna get worse and worse and worse. In my head, you know, when I was having trouble beating $2 no limit, I almost just quit poker this year. I almost just said, fuck it, if I can't beat 1 cent, 2 cent, how the fuck am I ever gonna beat any other limit? And I don't know if it's the rig or the what, or I was playing bad or on tilt, or who knows. I just had much more success playing the same style at higher limits, and I think starting from the lowest limit, it takes a different set of skills and patience to beat each limit, and things don't start getting wild until like $25 no limit, $50 no limit. You don't see a lot of really light 3 bets, light 4 bets until the higher limits. So I mean, that could be a reason why it's just like everyone at the lower limits on ACR is just playing like nits. Like, you can't get their money, and they stack you, and all you can get from them is like a couple bets. Anyways, long story short, it's a good training ground for me. And it's like, if I go on, I play on a different site, it's like, yeah, I can crush easier, but it's like I feel like I'm getting worse. You know, imagine if a professional baseball player, you know, he came down from the MLB, and you told him to go play t-ball with 5-year-olds for like 2 years, right? It's like, you think that professional baseball player is gonna get any better at baseball during those 2 years? Probably not, right? He's just playing at such a low level. He's not running at full speed. You know, he doesn't need to engage any of his higher level abilities. And so that's a bit how I feel when I go to a much softer cash site, you know. But I always come back to ACR to put in my volume, to train, you know, get the volume on Poker Tracker 4. I'm trying to move up in stakes. I'm not trying to crush micros forever. So it's like, I either go up or I'm gonna quit. Like, you know, there's no grinding the same level for me. Anyway, long story short, it's number 4 reason. The best cash players I've ever seen exist on ACR, and seems counterintuitive why I would want to play there because of that, but it's my personal reason, just sharing it with you. Number 5, though, this is the truth. Horrible, no, I don't want to say horrible. I will say horrible. A lot of horrible tournament players, right? You got some of the best ones grinding these games every day. Don't get me wrong, it's not going to be an easy bink, right? But it kind of is a relatively easy min cash. You know, like, look, I have to try hard to min cash, but as I've been getting experience, just applying like basic nit fundamentals can allow you to just kind of like glide into the min cash in most of these micros. You know, and when I say glide, I don't mean like it's fucking easy. Like, you're gonna have to win, you know, some coin flips here and there, but if your goal is just to become a winning tournament player, I think it could be relatively easy done on America's Cardroom. I don't have a lot of experience on the other sites, so I can't tell you how the player pools are. I will have one of those videos for you later on. I'm gonna team up with some of my poker buddies, and we'll kind of do a conceptual overview of all the poker sites on the micro levels and how the player pools are, because they're different at each site. So there's pros and cons on playing on different sites based on, you know, what you cash, tournaments, what levels you're playing, you know, sit and goes, huge multis, whatever, satellites. I mean, God, there's whatever. I'm still learning all the different variations of no limit hold'em out there. But bad tournament players. So there's what do we want to call this? We could call it, there's like the human overlay element, you know, like the casino, the poker room will offer their overlay, right? But then there's the dead money overlay, and that's the value in these multi-table tournaments, you know, is your ability to like guarantee the min cash and potentially set yourself up for the final table bink, right? And I'm learning all this, you know, I'm a beginner, amateur level myself, just sharing, you know, my thoughts and feelings. Literally, this is like my second month going pro full time, so just take all my words with that grain of salt. Oh, but for all you micro grinders out there, I'm on number 6. 6 out of 10 reason that I play on America's Cardroom is, wait for it, awesome and frequent free rolls. Okay, like when I was investigating poker rooms to play on, I didn't even have money to put online yet, so I was looking for a site that A, you know, eventually when I want to put money, I can, right? But B, I wanted to find a site that could let me get started and potentially win money from nothing. And America's Cardroom, you could definitely do that. They're not as big as, let's say, I think PokerStars is like number 1 in traffic, and I hear their micro tournaments are just crazy. Like, I don't know how crazy, but just like it's literally like buying a lottery ticket. America's Cardroom is pretty damn busy, but it's like, I think it's at that stage where it's like realistic. You know, a lot of their free rolls are in that 500 to 1,000 person registration level, where, yeah, I mean, look, if you're thinking, what are my chances to bink 1 out of 1,000 people, right? You know, it is kind of a crapshoot, but you know, it's not like it's, you know, 10,000 or 20,000 people. I think on some other larger sites, the free rolls get so crazy, it's just like, why even play? On, let's say, America's Cardroom, you're like, all right, I want to try to win a couple dollars so I can then put that into a cash game and build it up. You could win a couple dollars on free rolls relatively easily. Now, would it be easier just to go out, get a job, and work for a week and, you know, make a couple $100 and put, yeah, but, you know, if you're in whatever situation, which I was there, and we're all there, we're maybe working some dead-end job, and all that money goes to rent, so, you know, where how can I ever get $200 working my minimum wage job online? America's Cardroom got you covered, man. They're just adding new and better free rolls. I just recently became an ACR Stormer, and I just found out about the whole private tab. Alright, there's this tab on America's Cardroom that I never even, like, I mean, I saw it, I just never clicked on it. And I mean, like, I knew these private games were there, I just didn't know how accessible they are. Look, they're freaking accessible. It's just like, if your buddy tells you the password, you don't even need to do whatever it is. So, you know what, hit me up on any of my social channels. I stream every day. You want the password to one of these private free rolls that I'm playing, just hit me up, man. I'll send you the password. So we got the private home games of ACR Stormers. So there's one every day, and that password is available on the Stormers Twitch page. And these are $100 free rolls, and this week I haven't seen more than 200, maybe like between 200 and 300 players. They might get more busier, so ACR right now has at least $100 free roll, if not multiple $100 free rolls, because ACR Stormers will have one, Then Cards Chat might have one, and Texas Hold'em Radio and some other organizations are involved. I'm just learning all this, so I want to share it with you when I'm excited and I just learned about it before it, falls to the back of my head and I forget to tell you about it. But so go to the tournament tab, click on private, and then click on all, and you'll see boom, right? And then so I never really explored this until this week, until I became a stormer and I realized that this whole world was there, this world of free money that's there for me to win that I didn't know. Like, oh, mind blown. So if you're a micro stakes player, there's some good odds on you winning these, getting money in these free rolls. I'll just leave it at that. I mean, like, I've already oversold the offer. I don't want to oversell these free rolls anymore. Just go make a free account, check them out for yourself, see if I'm talking bullshit or not, alright? But hey, use my promo code if you do sign up, alright? BUSB0Y. BUSB0Y. Thanks. Yeah, and oh, actually, so that's number 6 and 7. Number 6 was the public free rolls, and my number 7 reason was actually the even better private free rolls. Okay, I kind of looped those into one, number 6 and 7. Number 8 reason that I play on America's Cardroom is it's kind of like a meta reason. As I've like looked at different poker rooms and I've gotten more knowledgeable, just kind of like how a poker room maintains its economy, and gets new players, and what do regular players want? They want rake back and things like that, and incentives. What do new players want? And new, or I should say beginner players, right? Recreational players, that's what we call them. What do recreational players want? They prefer a site with no regulars, so that means like no HUD, no multi-tabling, and they're fine with high rake back. You've heard the whole more rake is better argument. Doug Polk, Daniel Negreanu, they're button heads. So that being said, my number 8 reason that I like playing at America's Cardroom is I think there's a very good balance between the incentives that the regular grinders want and that the new players want. And I think America's Cardroom and the management and the leadership team, they're doing a really good job with balancing these incentives to keep a very healthy economy, right? Like you can't gear it 100% towards the regulars. Otherwise, none of the recreational players are going to want to play, right? Then you can't also gear it all the way towards the recreational players, because then your daily grinders that support the site, they're going to leave. So I think it's a balance between what you want to offer, and I think America's Cardroom is doing some really smart things on the front end by giving like a huge welcome bonus packages, and just wow, they really hook you up as a new player. And then on the back end, for the real heavy grinders, you got a couple options. You can go rake back or the loyalty points program. Personally, I'm on the rake back, so I'm not too familiar with the loyalty program yet, but I'm going to find out some more information, or I'm just going to become more knowledgeable about it soon, so I can better advise a new player if they should go rake back or loyalty. But we'll talk about that in a different video. But the number 8 reason that I play on America's Cardroom is just good balance in the economy between recreational players and your daily grinders. Number 9 reason that I like playing on ACR, this is a personal reason. It's because of the ACR Stormer team, which I'm a new member of, and it's really exciting for me because I'm 36 years old. It's been a long time since I've been in school or part of a club or a fraternity or anything like that. And so, and it's a small group too. So I think there's only about 30 something of us, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not an easy group to become a part of. And so it's just cool to be a part of a group that supports each other, gives you encouraging words when you're feeling down, or maybe you got some buddies to spot you when you bust your roll. It's just poker without a group of people supporting you whether it's Stormers or you just joining a Facebook group or whatever, I think it's much better to find a very small circle of people that will support you, rather than trying to join some big forum, right, that you just get lost in the sea. Especially for poker, because poker is a very sick game, with a very long time period, with a lot of, the mental game is just as important as the actual poker game. So I'm excited about being part of the ACR Stormers. Like when I started playing on ACR, I was like, oh man, that's cool. Like, they're on Twitch and they're doing things, and it just looked like a group that I wanted to become a part of. And then and finally, Violet put in a good word for me. And long story short, it gives me like a reason to just I wouldn't say exist. That's being too dramatic. I don't know. I haven't been like a part of a group for a while, and it just feels cool to have a group of people to just like chat with in the morning and co-stream together, and it really helps make this poker journey a lot easier. So I'll put a link if you want to apply to the ACR Stormers. I really don't know how hard it is to get in or what exactly they're looking for. You can ask Jason, he's the manager. I would just kind of like making friends. Violet was one of the first friends I made online, so she was already a Stormer. She put in a good word for me, and I stream every day, so I think I don't know. Ask Jason. You can apply. What else? No, I've just had a good time with the Stormers, so that's my number 9 reason. It just kind of gave me something to look forward to. Like before I was a Stormer, it was like, and I'm sure all these other sites have their own whatever teams, and this is not like an ACR thing. Actually, it's just ACR Stormers is like a group, independent group created outside of ACR now, that kind of has like an affiliate relationship with ACR. So it's not like, this is not through ACR, it's independent organization that and it's, poker streamers, Twitch mainly. I don't know if anyone streams poker on anything other than Twitch, but that's what we do. We stream poker on ACR on Twitch, and dude, we have a lot of fun doing giveaways. Look, it's made the micro grind so much more fun and doable. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Number 10 reason that I play on America's Cardroom, and yeah, I'm sucking up a little bit to the management, but it's a great leadership team. It really is. I obviously have a choice where I put my time, right? I grind like 8 to 10 hours, sometimes 15, 16 hours a day, and yeah, I can choose where I do that and who I want to promote. And one of the reasons I'm truly sticking with America's Cardroom is, in the short time I've been in the industry, it's like I've seen kind of the direction that America's Cardroom is going, where, and where they've been going. They're consistent. They're not like changing shit all the time. Didn't PokerStars recently just like limit the number of tables and, I don't know, raise the rake earlier this. I don't know. I don't know the specifics, but I see other sites really changing their business models, turning them 180 overnight. Trying to maintain their market share, and whereas America's Cardroom is just giving the people what they want and being fair about it. I think we all understand the house has to take their cut. I think America's Cardroom does it in a very fair way, and I think they've been consistent over the years, and as they've grown, and the path that they're taking is kind of like, the poker room for the people. I don't know if anyone said that before, but if America's Cardroom is trying to build the poker room for the people, and I can get on board with their direction, and mostly it's based on what I've seen interviews I've seen the CEO give publicly, and how the actions match up with those statements, right? And I think this year, I think America's Cardroom really stood by its values. I think they've really gotten rid of the bot problem. Sure, bots are always going to advance and evolve, and we're always going to have to fight the bots, right? But America's Cardroom, they update their software pretty often, and I think that's in an effort to really keep combating the bots. That every update the bots break, and then they fix the bots, and then so it's a battle. I think that was a major issue this year, was the rampant bots on ACR, and I think the problem's mostly been solved, unless someone has something else to say. And just the general direction of the site, with how they add the tournaments, and and that they actually listen to the players. Like, as ACR Stormer, we're kind of a voice for the community. So we're like your House of Representatives. Yeah, that's kind of true. Like, you say something to us, and if we agree or we care about it, we're telling the CEO directly. Like, we chat with him in the Skype every day. And and when we mention something like, oh, hey, there's not enough micro tournaments, or you're not blah blah blah, they listen. They don't always take care of it right away, but things get done. And I think at a faster pace than I've seen at similar sized companies. I read an interview from Phil, the CEO, and he said something about the agile model that he likes to use, that it's like a constant iteration. The agile work model is constantly releasing things, getting things done. And he had released this interview at least a year or two ago, or maybe more than that, and I'm seeing it in action now. It's like every couple weeks we'll get a new update, and even though I like things staying the same, I'm happy when I see the company that I'm that I've devoted my time to. I play there 8-10 hours a day. I don't want to see them go down, right? It makes me happy to see them constantly trying to tweak the design, add new little features. It's like they care about our experience. It's 1 through 10. I'll leave it at that. I don't know if there are any other reasons that make me want to play at America's Cardroom, but if you're out there, if you're trying to make a decision on where to play, if you have some more questions, man, feel free to hit me up in the comments or on any of my social channels. I'll be happy to answer any of your questions you may have. But I'll leave it at that. It's still like 9-10 a.m. for me, so rise and grind if you're watching this in the morning, or good night and grind if you're watching this in the evening. I'll see you on the tables. I'm Super BUSB0Y on Twitch. We'll see y'all later.